lunchtime live chat. Many of you reached out to me and asked if I could go sometimes live early, early afternoon, or even later afternoon, but not late at night. And so I'm honoring your request. I'm gonna to try to do it at least maybe a couple times a week. Welcome everyone. I hope you have a beautiful day. And today I'm continuing the topic we discussed last night. And the topic was we talked about honesty in relationships. We talk about being blunt enough to say things that you don't like. I had an example when I shared that Slavic women don't really appreciate when men um, try to collapse the time and effort and try to make them feel some kind of closeness, and they start to be very either inappropriate, or when they calling you endearment when it's way too early. You have to understand the a bit of a roughness and toughness of our culture, that things are earned, especially for a man. Things are always earned. You need to earn to be able to call a woman your woman. You need to earn certain things. But also, some things are just showing that the man is lacking emotional intelligence. When I had an example with a sweetie, with this man who was it's actually very common when you don't really think about it. You don't even want to do that. You don't even want to call a woman like this because, again, it's like you're talking to your granddaughter. You call her sweetie. You call your niece sweetie. You don't want to call a woman that. You want to give her some alluring name once a time is there, right? So, why I'm bringing this up? You can watch that live from yesterday, but why I'm bringing this up? I'm bringing this up simply because um, you can be offended and you can be defeated, but how amazing is when somebody is actually telling you the truth. You can lose so many years of your life when you don't have a person who is blunt, who is honest. I know it, to me it's a major downside of Europe, of American and Western culture, is that everybody is so sweet. They beat around the bush endlessly, but they don't tell you the most important thing that you need to understand. Welcome everybody, welcome my wonderful mods, welcome everyone. I was very lucky to have a father that was very concrete and he took no BS. I was very lucky to have my father in my forming years. I have to say, he was a little bit rough, but he opened my eyes to reality. He opened my eyes to reality. And for some of you, when you were listening to my channel for many years, and then you started to um, apply my advice and maybe try to date Eastern European women, or just classy women in general, you got upset. You felt like you got mistreated or something else. Well, you are this is the cost of your education. We can live all our life vicariously through other people, or we can actually go and try things. So the issue here is that if you're a man especially, you shouldn't be afraid of this. You shouldn't be afraid of a woman. And something beautiful about Slavic culture and Eastern European culture is that you get in the raw truth reaction. You are getting realization that, hey, maybe I am actually full of BS. Maybe this woman called me out on being stingy, or on lacking class, on lacking masculinity. Yes, it hurts like hell, but maybe she's right. That's why it hurts. Maybe she's right. Maybe I could be more successful in my 50s and have several streams of income and have my things paid off And if I want a younger woman, some men still want to have children when they hit 50 years old because something didn't work out when they were young. Maybe I should not be counting on what she will bring to me, because she's obviously bringing already something that I cannot have otherwise. Yeah, it's just really interesting how sometimes another person, you feel like they hurt you, you are upset, but then sometimes you realize that, you know what, I'm hurting so much because they're correct. I'm hurting so much from their words because this person reflects me, but my life is not where it was supposed to be. And this woman actually see more potential in me that I see in myself. This woman sees more potential in me that I see in myself, because this woman see me being able to take care of our family. This woman see me as a leader. She doesn't want me to come to her to visit her and say, welcome, welcome everybody. She's not happy when I come and say, hey, where are we gonna go? I actually want to play this video. There is this very famous. It went viral on internet clip with a girl playing our culture in like a short movie. I need to ask if I can repost it to comment on it. It would be such a beautiful clip. But when a woman sometimes is critical of you, she is seeing your potential. Sometimes when a woman is critical of you, it's kind of like, when your parents are critical of you. Let's say you're a teenager, young adult, I don't know, middle schooler. Sometimes your parents are critical of you, and they are critical of you not because they don't love you, not because they don't want the best for you. They're critical of you because they know you're capable of doing better than this. And so, as with Slavic Eastern European women and women that have confidence, they are seeing that you're capable of so much more, and they feel offended by the breadcrumbing. They feel disrespected by your breadcrumbing, but it's not the only thing that they feel. Another thing that you may not realize is that they see a 6 feet tall man that is, thank you, they see the 6 feet tall man wide in the shoulders that is playing a victim and playing that he cannot do something and he doesn't know, and if you could only understand, and the economy, and like, a lot of times people who truly love us are very critical of us in general, because they they are critical from actually a truly crucial point. They're not critical to destroy you, they're not critical to ruin your life. They're critical because they see you playing small. They see you playing small. And that's why the topic of this video, the title of this video, is that Slavic women, Eastern European women are best coaches. um, when you had an experience, let's say it didn't work out the way you wanted, you can be bitter and you can tell stories, tell your friend how she used you, how she did this. Or you can realize, you know what? Yeah, maybe she's not the one for me, but actually she showed me that I'm not, inside of me, I was meant for so much more. And why is it I'm acting like a shell of myself? Why I am watching all these videos and podcasts and mainstream media about how emasculating this culture is. But why am I emasculating myself? Why, when I want to meet a lady, I'm telling her, well, that's going to be another hurdle. Let's figure out how we're going to meet. Instead of saying, I'm going to be there on Friday and I'm going to be there at 7 p.m., put your favorite dress on. Don't worry about anything. I have a plan. If sometimes those things that really get under our skin, especially for human, those things that get under your skin, if you think about it, you realize, okay, this bothers me because, well, in fact, I am upset. In fact, um, I can do so much better than this. This woman just showed me that I have a lot of area of growth. A lot of people think that your growth finish when you finish high school or you finish college. But we were meant to evolve our entire life. And that's why when it comes to men, when men reach the age around late 40s, 50s, a lot of men actually come to the true manhood. They start to be uh, they start to value the woman more. They learn how to treat a woman. They they really refine. They becoming truly refined, and that is why it is really worth it to realize that you have a choice to continue rehearse your history as a in a victim mode, or realize your lessons and become a man you were always meant to be. You always were meant to be a gentleman, a leader. How how sad that would be if, for example, the thing is, we don't know, nobody knows how long anybody is going to live. Unfortunately, a lot of men are subject to heart attacks starting mid 40s. So you don't have all the, when do you think like you are going to come up in your prime, at least mentally, and as a man, as a leader, as a father, as a husband? When do you think it's going to happen? You think, yeah, I'm gonna, you don't know. And imagine if you actually made it to older age and you kind of, you at that point, you understand not so much left. You're pretty much facing the final curtain, and it's gonna happen to all of us. You're pretty much facing the final curtain, and you realize you've never really done what you wanted to do because you were so worried of being liked. You were so worried of not hearing the criticism. So you stick with those women or people in your lives that will, yes, honey, this is great. You just were choosing people. You chosen women kind of like, might as well, um you were kind of the women in your life, or didn't stay for long, and they were all kind of might as well because you didn't really have any other options. But that applies to any area of your life. So the beauty of our culture, still, I know it will soon change. I know that soon, the effect of this fake politeness will probably take over a lot of Slavic culture as well, and people are going to be, I hope that not, but a lot of people might become very apologetic and like, stop apologizing, stop apologizing. If you did something wrong, you say, you own it once and you change your behavior. Stop apologizing. You have to change your behavior, because it's another habit, actually, side note of American men that just keep oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry. Just stop doing it, because you look so insecure, like you apologize for your existence. But imagine you coming to the end of your, like, let's just say, to your mature years. Imagine you're in your 50s already, you're in your early 60s, and you realize all your life you have been a people pleaser. You cannot handle criticism. You never went for someone you really wanted. You never excel in your career because you come home and all you do is, watching some stupid things that don't bring you anything. You just like, well, you playing video games, or you doing some other activities, that don't really bring you anything. You just tend to knock yourself out. Imagine when you realize, how fast the life goes, how soon things change, and then you realize You wish you had the opportunity, but you don't. So with a Slavic woman, you don't have to do it. She'll tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. How about that? Doesn't mean you should do it for her. Doesn't mean you should stay with her. But when you have women giving you feedback, just as for us ladies, when we are with a man, and men, if a man give us consistent feedback, if different men, ladies, give you consistent feedback, that is something to listen to. If something happens, if somebody is mean or something happens once, that's one thing. But when people give you the feedback, especially those people have nothing to gain from you, it's important to listen to it. So basically, Slavic women saving you years of your life. How about that? How about that? Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. I hope I don't sound too negative, but you know what? In my life, that was my father who gave me feedback, and he gave me feedback as if I was a boy. He didn't consider my feminine nature, but he saved me so much heartache, so much jeopardy, despair, so many things that I could have gone into. He really influenced me. It blew my mind when he told me how men think. I was just like, there is no way. Because every woman, every young woman in particular, every young girl, she thinks that the man wants the same thing as we do. Every young girl just, we are very unaware of male's nature. And my father, when he was teaching me, guiding me, um, that was a painful experience, and I really had a strong dislike for him. Um, but every day now that I live, I could not be grateful for him, um, for my appreciation for things that he helped me with, and how he protected me with his teachings. He protected my future. He protected my life. He protected my well-being with his teachings. We don't have this cover-up thing in our country, like, yeah, but you know, that would be nice if you would consider, but maybe. I understand that there are professional settings. I understand that there is etiquette. We don't talk the same if we talk at the kitchen table as we are invited some official place. But when you have a person in your life that's bold enough to tell you the truth, they don't like to be referred as sweetie. They don't like to be openly objectified or any other criticism. Just listen. And instead of being in your feelings and saying, oh, you're not kind, think, what? Why am I saying this actually? Why am I blind to my moves? You may never see that person ever again, but the lesson will stay with you. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm gonna read your comments, my dear friends. I'm popping live in the middle of the day. It's a lunchtime, so maybe you are having lunch. Uh, we sometimes have to have the courage to face certain things, and it's not that you're going to change for everyone, but if you feel inside of you secretly, you feel that this person, I'm mad because they are right. I am mad because I did say something really stupid. I am mad because I should not ask a woman, how are we gonna plan our date? I should offer a solution. 1 second. I should offer a solution. I should not ask a woman to help me in this case, right? Sorry guys, I have some annoying people I had to put in timeout. Let me read your comments. Thank you everybody who's coming. I know some of you live on the other side of the pond, as they say, on the other side of the ocean, and sometimes it's hard for you. You can never catch me live. Um Hello, George. Thank you, Vape King says double tap on screen to like. Thank you. Hey, Justin. Um, Maybe you get your own job. I don't need to have a job. Imagine that. And you should not have a job. You should have a career and not waste your time if you're not going to learn anything. I don't want to curse on my life, but men like you remind me of bitch type of men. Don't be so jealous of a woman. Don't. It doesn't look good. It makes you look of non. It looks like you are one of these men who prefer as a man when you ask that. I'm sorry. Yes. Non-classical orientation man, shall I say, instead of saying another word. Most men, myself included, never get to marry the girl they truly love. They end up marrying the girl that doesn't reject them. Exactly, Roger. Exactly. So, but in order to marry the girl you really want or really love, you have to change who you are. Men have their advantages because when you work on your character, when you develop that masculinity, when you it's a gift for you to meet a woman like this because you really step into who you always were meant to be. Many men get extremely successful and driven, change their life around when they meet a woman and they reject them. Some becoming bitter, grabbing a beer, grabbing cigarettes, and that's it. So, yeah, most men that I know, not, okay, maybe not most, maybe I don't know most, but many men that I know uh, are dating or married, might as well wives. So it's like, might as well, But as a man, you have a power to evolve, and actually, with the age, you have more power because you already understand this life better. So thank you for sharing that, Roger. I agree. I agree. I see this all the time. That's why so many men cheat in their imagination or with a computer, with all those horrible sites, or with their co-workers because they're not really inspired by the woman they're with. So if you, my dear friends, happen to meet the woman that is your true dream, that is a woman that you would love to be with, and she's giving you an honest feedback, before you get on your feelings, thank her. Tell you thank you for sharing, for having the boldness to tell me that you don't appreciate this, that, and the other. Don't hold it against her. Be grateful that she honestly told you, because if another woman would tell you this 20, 30 years ago, you would be a different man right now, possibly. Darling, welcome, welcome. Shari, welcome to the chat. Um, thank you, Sean says she's a model. Thank you, Sean. Yes. Vape King. What kind of name is that, Vape King? Vaping is even worse for you than the cigarettes. So let's not do that. I want you healthy and strong. Dads are very important. I believe that's part of our issue in the West. Too many broken homes, yes. Even if you don't happen to have a dad, find masculine role model. The men that keep it raw and clean and clear for you. I was very blessed to have my dad, even though he didn't really differentiate between me being a girl, but it gave me some very good foundation, even though it was very painful. But I love him more every day. Every day I love him more and appreciate him more. I respect him more because now I understand more and more what he was trying to do. He was trying to protect me for my entire life. I said I understand the power dynamics and that I understand how to not be susceptible to men's deceiving tactics. And it doesn't mean that men are bad. You know, I think many men, they don't even realizing that they are, they don't even mean to be players, but men's nature is different than ours. Men tend to believe in things when they promise things. They tend to believe in them at that moment, but things change later. So my father really taught me all these things. Veronica, since joining your channel, I have already improved my life more than you know from your inspiring words of advice. Thank you, David. That is such a beautiful feedback. I truly appreciate it. Um, Maybe sometime when we have a members chat or something like this, maybe you can share more specific, but that is already beautiful. Thank you so, so very much for this feedback. And thank you for supporting the channel, of course, and being one of my valued members of the channel. Thank you. As always, so amazing to hear people's feedback, even the negative one. But when it's something inspiring, of course, it does something to our soul. Thank you, Babe King. Thank you, Lance. Thank you so much for commenting. Communication is the key when you understand how to communicate. Yes. He says we need more Slavic women. Well, the thing is, I want to open my channel for. I want to widen up my horizons a little bit. That's why I'm opening up these lives. I want ladies to learn class, to learn femininity, but remain their strong core and to not fall into low standards, low expectations. We need to bring our society up, both men and women. We all could use a little lift in our society because yesterday I know my connection was a little bit choppy, but as I was talking about class, there was two teenagers beside me. They saw me live streaming. They saw I was a lady wearing a beautiful long dress. They saw me live streaming, and I don't know, have you heard them cursing and yelling? This is what we get when we compromise on who we marry, who we have children with, when men expect a woman to work and worry about her boss more than she should worry about her home and her children. I can guarantee you that those children were not coming from a home where there was hands-on parents. I can guarantee you that. I know all kids go a bit wild as a teenager, but not that wild. When you allow yourself to scream profanities out on the streets where there are children, families, when there is a woman standing right next to you. That was their way for me to pay attention to them. Because when I was walking, they were looking. But this is where our society falls when women lower their standards because they think, well, at least I have a boyfriend. And men lower their standards. They don't put their focus on their growth and their career and basically just wasting their young years and then get a very average woman. I'm not even talking about the looks, but very average, below average woman in her mind and her heart. A woman that is maybe who looks is somewhat attractive to you, but she doesn't have core, strong core, she doesn't have class, she doesn't have femininity. Then you suddenly happened to get her pregnant, and then you are on the verge of creating another mediocre or less than mediocre family. Yes, no video games here, exactly. I believe many men are hurt from past relationships. A lot of women leave men in the West even after 30 years marriage. She can be under another man and couple. Well, it happens for both men and women. People sometimes betray you after many, many years. People go under influence of someone and lose their legacy. A lot of people, a lot of men, both men and women, sometimes we have certain societal pressure, and sometimes people I would say that sometimes we have bad influences in our lives, and the worst part of us gets activated. I think it always hurts so much when somebody been married for so long and then they get a divorce, but we don't know the truth. Sometimes it was a beautiful family and you would wish that they stay together forever, but sometimes a person was not happy. Sometimes people live for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. They have a lot of children. It's not that they're not happy. Happy is kind of a fleeting, weird emotion. They really chosen wrong. Sometimes your partner or husband, things look good on social media, but somebody is not really what they we're supposed to be. Sometimes you feel very lonely behind the closed doors. If you live life, some people look beautiful on the outside, but they are very lonely behind the closed doors. Not everybody has it's a very complex thing and it's a very personal decision, but if your relationship had ended for whatever reason, even if it was very, very long, there are lessons to be learned. There are beautiful experiences to be appreciated. And coming on into a new life, um, into a new relationship, a new life, you can't come bitter. You cannot come bitter and mad at all men or women and hope that you will meet the life of your life. Be grateful for that experience. Even if you lived with somebody for 20, 30 years, they gave you beautiful children, you shared many beautiful moments. Be grateful for all the beautiful things you have, and now do something that will be for you. Be with a person, be with a um I don't know, do certain things that put you in a appreciative state, because um you don't gain anything for sharing with everybody what how horrible, if you stayed with somebody for 20, 30, 40 years and you have nothing good to say about them. Guess who is going to look bad? People will say that they feel sorry, but they will look at you. Well, it's not good. It's not going to create a good atmosphere. You have to get down with the past. You have to get down with the past and be grateful. I think that it's important. There's going to be another video. Don't have bad access. You know what you know. You live through what you live through. Try to let it go in your own heart. Focus on those things that's very good. And if you stayed with somebody for a significant amount of time, they couldn't be um so bad, because somehow you matched, somehow you stayed together. They couldn't have been so bad. They couldn't have been so bad if you stayed with them, you have children with them, it's like, when you have the story of the terrible ex, it's like you put a stamp on yourself. In the early days when they were slaves and all this stuff, they put tattoos and these like stamps on your body. Why do you want that? You don't want that. Not on the outside, not on the inside. So just release them. Release them with gratitude. Trust me. I know that not all the experiences are the best, but when you release and let go, you are going back to the person that you are, and you have a lot more chances to meet friends, people, new environment that you will enjoy. You know how sometimes I talk about this on my channel. You know how sometimes You are somewhere and you see this person approach it, um, the person approaching, and you already know it's gonna be about their ex, about the divorce, or about some drama, and you're like, I have a person like this, um, around, and like when I see them in the store, I'm like, I don't know you. Like, where are my glasses? You know, where's my. I literally want to cover because this person, it feels so rude when somebody gets into your space and it just start on. You know, not a good circumstance. Yes, I have heard women occasionally who complain about their ex husband and how they have given up on men. You know, I think that every woman, every man have a right to have that conversation with themselves, with their therapist, with their coach, maybe with their closest of the closest friends. But what if that man was sitting right there? You know, what if you're sitting at the bar or the beautiful restaurant, or you're walking in the park, you're having a random conversation, and this man is really attracted to you. He sees you in such a beautiful light, and then you open your mouth and you ruin everything because you're like, well, you know, but yeah, it would be a beautiful day, but like my ex and what if what if there is somebody is knocking on your door gently and saying hello? He doesn't see you the way your ex seen you. He sees you in a completely beautiful light, or she. So we are basically, like most of us very often stand on our own way because a person come with us with light, with maybe some enchantment, and here we are telling our story, and goodbye polarity, goodbye connection. It's like, you know, you drinking this delicious tea or delicious drink, and you have next to it you have a little, like a jar with some poison, and you just like, you know what, it's too delicious to enjoy this moment, let me add a little bit of poison as I would add sugar or honey. It's never a little bit, it's gonna ruin the whole pot. So yes, process your emotions, um however way you need to do it, but life continues, and that's such a beautiful thing, that life continues still. And sometimes we were meant to go through all these turbulences to really come to realization and self-discovery of who you we were always meant to be. Yes, change your hat, exactly. Thank you, Giorgio. We have one Giorgio here before, and he claimed that he was a lady. So you sound like you're a man. Welcome. I have so many personal questions. I think when I reach about 50,000 subscribers, I will share with you about my life experiences and who I am, and maybe more details. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait 40, what it is? 48,000? No, not see how much I have. Anyway, it's a little bit. It's a couple, like several times 10. Yes. Thank you, Angle Racing. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it. So, my beautiful friends, I'm sending you the warmest hug. I hope you have the most amazing day. I have an appointment. I'm heading out to, and I wanted to make sure that my Wi-Fi wasn't super choppy. I might go live from somewhere else today. We'll see how things unfold. I hope my appointment goes well. Um, and I really hope. I don't know if I live in such a remote town. I don't know why my connection can be so choppy sometimes. Because I want you to have the best experience when you're watching my videos. But many of you wrote me that you really enjoyed yesterday live. So it's always encouraging for me to hear that. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you for joining. I hope that you get encouraged and don't get upset when ladies tell you the truth. Don't take it too personally, but think about it. Why does it hurt? If it hurt because you are far, far from your best, why not to change it? This live was good and the feed was great. Thank you, Russell. I appreciate it. Thank you, David. Best of luck. Thank you, David. Yes, my darlings, I will see you very soon. I hope you have a wonderful day. And, people will always give us feedback. It's up to us how to take it. But, when it comes, again, when it comes to Slavic women, most of us, those who lived in the US for too long, um, they sometimes become in very they kind of give in into beta culture. I'm sorry, but it's true. They also start like, well, but if you like, so much better when things are straight and clear. That's all. Straight to the point and clear. Saves you so much time, gives you clarity, and makes you feel like you know what you're doing. You giving feedback right away. So think about that. I do believe Slavic women, Eastern European women are best coaches, even if you didn't hire them as a coach. If I ever was your coach, if you ever talk to me in person, my coaching is not about telling you the fairy tales, but giving you the tools and opportunity to understand how culture works and see if you are correct for it. So we're gonna probably see each other later today, and I have some topic to share. Not very uplifting, but we need to talk about it. Thank you, Jojo. You have good taste, I must say. All right, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you very soon. Have an amazing day. I will see you later. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the channel and would like to be a part of the conversation. Bye, everyone. See you soon.